it's me again. I'd like to just give you some information about a public presentation I actually gave at the University of Tasmania. I was very, very lucky to have come across this chap, which I may have mentioned him before, Dr. Rajiri, who is an inflammatory bowel disease specialist and a mucosal specialist. And he was, a friend of mine actually gave me this little bit of information about him, that he was coming over to do research in the University of Tasmania. And so I got in touch with him and basically sent him a very brief message. If you want to meet somebody who had Crohn's disease for 40 years of her life and then now doesn't, feel free to get in touch. Bit cheeky, I know. Anyway, he did. And since then, he's watched some of my YouTube channels, and he asked to read my book, which I sent him, and then he asked to come and meet me and brought his family with him, and it was great. We had a great conversation. And from there, we're actually going to do some more work and possibly get a paper together to maybe change the way that the medical education is for people studying stuff about gastrointestinal problems or whatever. So anyway, I went off to this, I was thinking I was going to speak to these medical students. That's what he said, 250 of them. That was hard enough. And then he said to me that it was going to be actually scientists and doctors and staff of the university. Okay, except. And my action there was to get a PowerPoint together, because I'm not brilliant in my structure, as you know. And so I got this PowerPoint together and put in scientific information, bits about cells, how genes work, why they don't switch on and off all by themselves. Therefore, it has to be the signal, all that sort of stuff. And I was concerned that I maybe didn't have enough information to give them in the hour that I was given, and I was going to speak for 45 minutes. Well, I spoke for about 50 minutes, and I was going, and eventually I looked at the clock and I know, oh my gosh, I've got to stop. There's question time for 15 minutes, and some people were having to get up to go and teach their classes. And so I wrapped it up and got to the end and had a couple of questions, which was really good. I guess the best thing was seeing the faces there and watching them with me, smiling at the good bits or the funny bits. They actually laughed out loud about 3 times, which was pretty cool. And then, when I was talking about certain other situations, experiences in my life that weren't maybe as nice, and I could see the empathy in their faces. So basically, every single face was with me the whole way through. It was really good. And what I gained from that is I've actually, even though I'm not a medical person, I don't have a degree or a PhD or a dip dot whatever, I'm able to show predictability. And that's what science needs. They need predictability. They need to be able to test something and have the result be the same. My results maybe aren't exactly the same way, but similarly, in the past, when anything happened that was bad, nasty, stressful, whatever, I definitely had a reaction to that situation with a bleeding bowel. So that was my Crohn's disease, basically kicking in due to stress. Okay. I would like to offer the possibility of the understanding that it is actually stress that causes the problems, the symptoms, and the word Crohn's disease is what's been used to, a name for these symptoms. However, when I I had this sort of like switch on moment whereby if you just accept everything, you fight nothing. Where's the stress going to go? People want things got to be done. Okay, what is it? What needs to be done? I'll do what I can. And what I can't do, I can't do. And it's a little bit more than that, but yes, anyway, so that was the switch point. So I was just sort of explaining in my way what had happened. And consequently, from that moment on, each negative experience that came up, such as my breast cancer, skin cancer, my brother dying of cancer, my mother nearly dying, my other brother dying of cancer, my last brother. In each of those moments of meant to be highly stressful situations, did I get affected? Yes, because it wasn't pleasant. But with every time that I found myself saying, no, it can't be this. Well, is it? Yes. So you can feel sadness and you can feel loss and you can go, oh my gosh, my breast isn't doing what a breast should be doing. Then just go and fix it. So I did. Funny thing, just interjecting there, when I mentioned about the breast cancer and that I'd had basically what needs to be cut out, taken out, plus some, whatever they do, healthy tissue, but I didn't have radiation or chemotherapy. And one of the doctors asked me why. And I said, well, because they took the bad tissue out. That was it. They took the bad tissue out. I mean, I just, for me, I find that chemotherapy and radiation, as it presently is, or as it was 5 years ago, is not specific enough. And it can kill the good cells as well as the bad cells. So if it comes back, and I deal with it. Somehow, I don't think it will, but it's not something I really think about anyway, because yes, I just don't. Anyway, I can't remember where I was. But suffice it to say, what I was able to give these learned academic people, the ability to show them this is where I was because of X, Y, and Z that happened to me when I was a child. And then the epiphany happened, the mind changed, or the way that I used my mind changed. And then every situation that occurred thereon, no bleeding, no anything. And if we seriously look to the way that our body is functioning, if it's functioning in a negative way, seriously ask yourself, what happened beforehand? What happened 2 months ago? What happened way ago? How do you think? How do you look at this world through this vehicle? You know, because invariably that's where your answer sits. I'm going over again. 8 minutes. Anyway, that was my university experience. So a paper to be written is on the way. Yes. And it'll probably sound a lot better than I just did. But I just wanted to share. And I'll speak to you soon. All the best to all of you. Cheers. Bye.